Today, we're diving into how being with a narcissistic wife can seriously mess with your mental health. It's tricky, because the signs of narcissistic abuse aren't always in your face. They're subtle, creeping up on you until they're all you can think about. By the end of our chat today, you'll get why this matters so much and what it can do to you. Plus, stick around till the very end, because I've got an important bonus tip that'll help you tackle this head-on. It's something that can make a real difference in your journey. So, are you ready to get into it? 1. Recognizing narcissistic behavior. All right, let's jump in by recognizing narcissistic behavior. Now, I know what you might be thinking. What does that even look like? It's not always the grand gestures or outright meanness. Sometimes it's the small things, like how they talk about themselves a lot or seem to always turn the conversation back to them. It's like being in a relationship with someone who's more interested in their reflection than in you. Narcissistic individuals often lack empathy. This means they struggle to put themselves in your shoes or show genuine care for what you're going through. It's like they're in a world where only their feelings and needs matter. Ever felt like you're speaking, but you might as well be talking to the wall? Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Another sign is constant manipulation. It's subtle, Maybe it's guilt-tripping you into doing things their way or making you doubt your own thoughts and feelings. It's like living in a fog where you can't tell left from right, and before you know it, you're doing backflips trying to please them. Never quite getting there. Now, why does spotting this matter? Because knowing is the first step to dealing with it. If any of this rings a bell, you're not alone. It's tough, but recognizing these signs is key to understanding what you're up against. It's about seeing the situation for what it is, not what you wish it was. So, keep these signs in mind. It's the starting line for making sense of things and eventually finding your way out. 2. The emotional toll. Moving on, let's talk about the emotional toll this kind of situation can have on you. It's like carrying a backpack that's getting heavier by the day. You start feeling things you didn't sign up for. Confusion, anxiety, maybe your self-esteem starts to take hits. It's tough because on the outside, it might look like everything's fine, but on the inside, it's a whole different story. Here's the thing. When you're dealing with a narcissistic partner, it's like being on an emotional roller coaster that you can't get off of. One day you're up. The next, you're so down you don't know how to get back up. It's exhausting. You might start questioning your own feelings or wondering if you're overreacting. Spoiler alert, you're not. It's just part of the game that's being played, and it's not a fun one. This constant state of stress and worry does a number on your mental health. It's like you're always on edge, waiting for the next drama. And that's no way to live. Recognizing the emotional toll is about understanding that these feelings are valid. You're not weak or too sensitive. You're reacting to a situation that's genuinely tough. Acknowledging this emotional toll is a big step. It's about giving yourself permission to feel what you're feeling and knowing that it's okay to not be okay sometimes. This is where the journey to healing begins, with recognizing that what you're going through is real and it matters. 3. The psychological effects. Let's talk stress. It's not the normal kind of stress like when you're running late or have a big project due. It's this constant tension, wondering what mood she'll be in or what she'll say next to throw you off balance. Your brain is always on high alert, trying to avoid the next blow-up or criticism. It's tiring, and wow, does it wear you down? Then there's the self-doubt. It creeps in because you're constantly being told, directly or indirectly, that you're not enough or that you're the problem. After a while, you start believing it. It's like being stuck in a loop of questioning your worth and decisions. This can lead to anxiety or depression because, let's face it, being put down all the time takes a toll on how you see yourself and your happiness. But here's the thing, recognizing these effects for what they are is a big step towards breaking free from that cycle. It's about understanding that the problem isn't you, it's the unhealthy situation you're in. And knowing this, it's powerful. It's the beginning of taking back control and finding your way back to feeling like yourself again. If you're finding this video enlightening so far, why not take a moment to like and subscribe? Your support means we can keep bringing valuable insights directly to you. Plus, your engagement helps others who might be struggling find this information. Share your thoughts and experiences in the comments below. Let's create a supportive community together. 4. Impact on self-perception. Next, let's discuss how all this mess affects how you see yourself. Think about it. When you're constantly hearing that nothing you do is right, or that all the problems are your fault, it starts to mess with your head. It's like being in a funhouse mirror room where every reflection twists a bit more, until you're not even sure what's real about you anymore. Here's the real kicker. Your self-perception takes a hit. It's like, if you hear you're not good enough for a long time, part of you starts buying into it. You begin to question your own value, your skills, even your likes and dislikes. It's as if you're slowly being erased and rewritten, but the new version is all through someone else's critical lens. Not cool. This isn't just about feeling a bit off. It's about starting to lose touch with who you are at your core. You might stop doing things you love because you've been made to feel like they're silly or unimportant. Or maybe you start mirroring their interests and opinions because it's just easier that way. But the more you drift from your true self, the harder it feels to grab onto anything real about who you are. But recognizing this, that's your first step back to yourself. It's about saying, hey, this isn't me. I'm more than what I've been made to feel. It's about reconnecting with your passions, your beliefs, and remembering the person you were before all this. That person is still in there. And trust me, finding your way back to them is the most rebellious and powerful thing you can do. 5. The cycle of abuse. All right, let's chat about the cycle of abuse and why it's super tough to break free from it. It starts with everything seeming perfect, like you're on top of the world. But then, suddenly, you're plummeting down at breakneck speed into criticism and coldness, wondering what you did wrong. This cycle keeps repeating. 1 minute, you're being showered with affection and promises, making you think, finally, everything's going to be okay. It's like the sun's come out after a long storm. But just as you start to relax, the clouds roll in again, and you're back in the thick of it, trying to figure out how to make things right. This back and forth messes with your head, keeping you hooked on those moments of warmth and making it hard to see the situation clearly. What's tricky here is how this cycle makes you doubt your own feelings and experiences. You start to believe that maybe things aren't that bad, or that the good times are worth the bad. It's like being stuck in a fog of confusion, always hoping for a change that never really comes. But getting a handle on this cycle, recognizing it for what it is, that's a game changer. It's not easy, but understanding this cycle is a crucial step toward breaking free and finding your way back to steadier ground. 6. Strategies for coping and healing. Now, let's discuss ways to cope and start the healing journey. It's like finding your way through a dark forest. It might seem overwhelming at first, with no clear path out, but the thing is, even the smallest steps can start leading you somewhere brighter. First up, seeking professional help is huge. It's like having a guide with you in that dark forest, someone who knows the way out and can support you through the tricky parts. Therapists or counselors can offer you tools and strategies that you might not have thought of on your own. They're there to listen without judgment and help you understand your feelings and experiences. This might sound simple, but it's actually one of the toughest and most powerful steps you can take. It's about deciding what you're okay with and what you're not, and then communicating that clearly. It's like drawing a line in the sand and saying, "This is where I stand." It helps you reclaim your sense of control and respect for yourself. And don't forget about the importance of a support network. Whether it's friends, family, or a support group, connecting with others who understand what you're going through can be incredibly comforting and empowering. It's a reminder that you're not alone in this, that there are others who've walked this path and made it through. Sharing your story and hearing others can be incredibly validating and healing. Healing isn't a straight line. It's full of ups and downs, but each step forward, no matter how small, is a step towards a healthier, happier you. It's important to ask for help, to take time for yourself, and to move at your own pace. You've got this. All right, ready for that bonus tip I promised? Here it is. Embracing self-care and finding joy again. After all this heavy talk, it's crucial to remember that finding moments of happiness and peace is necessary. It's about turning the focus back on you, on what makes you feel good, calm, and genuinely happy. Think small to start. Maybe it's picking up that book you've been meaning to read, going for a walk in the park, or just taking a long, relaxing bath. It doesn't have to be big or grandiose. It's about those little things that bring a smile to your face. And when you start taking care of yourself, you begin to rebuild from the inside out. You start to remember who you are beyond the abuse, beyond the hurt. Self-care isn't selfish. It's essential. It's about filling your cup so that you can start to see the world with a bit more hope and a lot less pain. So, give yourself permission to enjoy life again, even in the smallest of ways. It's these moments that can light up the darker paths and guide you back to yourself. Trust me, you deserve it. Want some further advice on setting boundaries? We've got the perfect video for you. Or discover tips on disengaging from the narcissistic drama. The choice is yours. Thank you for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe.